Hey, JD here. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and please hit like. I keep saying that. I'm not sure if people are doing it or not, though. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to do some work on the Wayne 2 watch today. So I've got some of the leftovers of the Wayne 2 watch that I've been working on over here. As you recall, last week I had reinstalled the detachable balance staff on this movement, made a video on that, and I put in the roller table, and the safety roller is in there now. And so what I want to do is put together the main movement. So I want to reassemble the main movement. So this has been drying in this case for, I don't know, a long time. I just heard a noise. Always spill your thing. Oh, it's a flake. It's a flake. It's a flake. It's not a dangerous noise. So I had this sitting in here for almost a week now, I think. So I've been very, very busy at work. So they're making me work. It's terrible. So the busyness is terrible. No, it's actually good that I'm busy. So we've got this, and I've got to reassemble this baby in all of its parts. So I've got it all here, and I'm going to reassemble it now. I may want to listen to the radio while I'm reassembling this watch as opposed to talking this time. And when I do that, I'll speed the video up so it's really fast, and then I may do a dub over on the video to explain certain things at times. But it allows me, it's a Thursday afternoon right now, and I just want to relax. So as opposed to talking and making the complete video, I just want to relax. So with this watch, it's got a swing out case as well. The old swing out case, and you got to make sure with the swing out case that the crown is pulled out. Otherwise, when you swing it out, you'll snap the stem. A lot of people have done that in the past. So it's almost August, which means the summer is really shortening, right? So, which means my fishing season is shortening, which is terrible. And I've caught quite a few fish lately. I got 11 fish last weekend, which was amazing. Actually, last weekend I only got 2 fish or 3 fish, I think, right? I got these fish that are called crappers. I'm not sure if they're called rock bass or what the hell they are, but they're probably a form of perch. Anyway, I don't like catching them, but they fight like hell. So it's crazy because you think you got a big fish in a line, and it's like having a 3-year-old that's got ADHD and just running around the mall doing things, eh? So I remember when my kids were young and they ran around the mall. They were all good kids. So anyway, I'm going to reassemble this watch. I still have some work to do when it comes to timing it and beat air and all the rest of that stuff needs to be done in this watch. But that's this afternoon's task. So Wayne 2. Let's just hope and pray. The thing I really want to pray about is that the pallet fork that I got will work well. And also, like I said, I redid the balance staff in the balance. So it's a brand new detachable balance staff in there. So hopefully the pivot sizes are good and not too much adjustment is needed. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Because it's summertime. I don't want to work really hard. All right, here I'm just taking the parts out of the watch cleaning machine baskets and laying them all out. I guess the important part here is to group them up properly and keep them forward in your mat so you don't get them stuck on your hands, because that's disappointing. Here I've got the Myers number 58 movement holder to hold this, and I realize that after I've got all these parts out and aligned, I still need to remove a lot of cap jewels in the gear train, because this is a high-end watch and it's got a boatload of jewel settings with cap jewels in it. So I've got the first cap jewel I remove, and this is the jewel setting and cap jewel for the bounce, for the lower part of the bounce. And so I do that again. I move the parts out of the way, put the screws down in order so I can put them back in the same position. And I tried to lift the cap up, but it wouldn't lift, so I know I've got to punch it down. So I grab the right tool here, and you just push down on it, and it comes out. And then I go ahead and wash the jewels in lighter fluid. I examine them first to make sure they're not cracked. Wash them in lighter fluid. There we go. A little bit of lighter fluid, put them in for a swim, brush them off, and then dry them with fresh watch paper. So here's my watch paper. This is non-lint or lint-free watch paper. It's vintage actually. And then I let this dry on the watch paper. Chase it around like a hockey player with a puck, and then there we go, all ready to put that back in. And now I need to add oil to this one here, so get my oil out. And I think I use 90-10 on this, which is the lightest grade oil because it's the bottom jewel and cap jewel, jewel setting and cap jewel of the balance. So there we go, put the screws back in, we're good to go. And then after I do this job, I'm going to the next one, because yet there is now another cap jewel, and this is the one for the pallet fork. And you'll see the problem I run into here, which I wasn't expecting, but the pallet fork pivots were both broken on the watch, and I had to buy a new pallet fork. All right, more problems. So in this case here, there's the jewel setting and the cap for this setting, and they both look cracked. So the jewel setting absolutely looks cracked, so I can't reuse that. And it's for this one here, which is, thank God, not the balance. It is the pallet fork, I believe. Let me see. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is the pallet fork jewel. Now, if you recall, for this watch, the pallet fork was broken on this watch, so the setting is cracked. So now I've got to go see if I can find a jewel setting for the pallet fork. So this could be tricky. But what I might do here, just to speed things along, now let me think here. No, I got to find a jewel setting for the pallet fork. So this is going to be a bit of a task here. So hopefully I can find the right setting. And this is the lower setting, which means there's a possibility the upper setting is also cracked for the pallet fork, which is not good. Let me have a look here. See if I can find the upper setting here. Just a quick look at it here. No, the upper jewel looks good. Yeah, the upper jewel looks good. The bottom one is cracked. Damn. So I thought I'd be able to just complete this job today. I doubt it. Every time I dig in here, it's a little bit deeper. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can see the crack setting, but let me just put that on my finger and see if it will. I'll throw this on my finger and see if it. So now to find a proper setting, it needs to be both the right diameter and it has to have the right hole size. You can see the crack in there? Not good. So now I've got to basically put everything aside and go jewel hunting for the right setting. So, and hopefully I have the right setting. And the cap jewel for this is also cracked, which is not good. You can see that cap jewel is also cracked. So that is not good. So I think what I'll do is I'll just make this video right now and then, or just stop it and try to find a setting. All right, a little tiny bit of good news. When I looked at this a little closer, the cap jewel is not cracked, which is excellent. So I can reuse the cap jewel for this. I'm going to put this out of the way. But this jewel setting here is definitely cracked, and this was all caused by, it's a thin setting too. This is what caused the pallet fork to break. So the things I need to do is I need to find a setting, but I need to understand what the pivot size is for this setting. And so to do that, I've got a new pallet fork in this box. So we'll open this up really quickly, have a look at what this looks like. So this pallet fork came from eBay. It's the only place I could find a replacement pallet fork. Dave Coatsworth usually has really good parts. In this case, he didn't have one of these pallet forks. So it's me hoping and praying that this pallet fork fits. It's the right model of pallet fork, and it just needs to have the right pivot sizes and fit the watch properly. So I can take the balance bridge on one side and put the pallet fork in and see if it fits into the balance bridge, and that's usually a good sign. And there it is in there. And then I can take the, let me see, is this going to open for me? Yeah. There it is. There's a little world's smallest container. That's kind of cool, actually. I may reuse that container at some point. World's smallest container. You put stuff away so nothing gets crushed. And usually the bottom and top of the pallet fork pivots are the same size. So if this fits the upper bridge of the pallet fork, then it's likely going to do a good job at the lower bridge. So just let that fall on the mat. And I have the old pallet fork. I have the old pallet fork in here too. Yeah, this is the older one, and there's just no comparing the two. This way it doesn't help you at all. But I know if I grab the bridge for this, right, and I know the pallet, which direction the pallet fork goes. And let me zoom in just a little bit. All right, so if I grab the bridge, this is the bridge for the pallet fork. And the bridge, the hole in the bridge there's no issue with the hole in the bridge. So if I take this pallet fork and I look, okay, which way would this go? It's got two good pivots. It would normally go in the watch this way, and the bridge would be on the top. So in this case here, it would go in this way. So the pallet fork, the bridge would rest on the pallet fork. So it's the other way around, but it would rest like this. And it looks like it's fitting. So it looks like it's going in there without a problem. So that's good. I'm not going to stress that pivot too much. Yeah, the pivots look good. And the pivots are likely the exact same size, but I'm looking at the other side when I try to find myself a setting. And I think measuring it is probably of no use. It's just putting the setting on top of the pallet fork to make sure it fits. I don't think I might be able to use my gauge to measure the pivot size, but we'll see. I'm going to put this on a piece of Rodico anyway. That way I know the pivot's not going to break on me. It's on Rodico. And just put this on the Rodico like this, the old Rodico. And just like that. And then when it comes time to measure the jewel, I'll put the jewel on top of here, but I'm going to use that. I'm going to do that under my microscope because I want to make sure there's no problem there and it fits perfectly. These are the two screws that have to go in there. I want to move these up because they'll end up on my arm. And I'm going to go hunting because I've got jewel settings and I need to spread them all out. First thing I'm going to do with this jewel setting is mark it red so I know this is the one that needs to be replaced. So I just need to get a red marker out. That way when I get all the other jewel settings out and I'm in the middle of seeing which one is the same size from a diameter perspective, I don't lose the setting, the master, because this is the master. So there we go. So this was, somehow there was an impact that caused that the old pallet fork pivots broke off and cracked the jewel setting. So I'm not sure what kind of impact caused that, but it was pretty drastic.